Well, this is the last factory car ever built. When I mean factory supplied all the parts, factory paid all the bills, and it was built in August 1986, and it was built for John Bowe and Alfie Costanzo to do the endurance rounds, and of course with an eye to the future for 1987. So it was all the latest technology, and it made it barely to the Sandown race and had an issue with the rear locating arm, tore off the chassis, and then the car went to Bathurst and was in second place about halfway through the race, and over the dipper the lower arm fractured and he was out again. Both those were sort of teething problems. The car then was shipped back to Sweden and was given a little bit of a freshen up by the factory, and then went on to win the Swedish Championship with Per Gunnar Anderson.
In the Group A days before Sierras, and I mean Sierras reinvented the whole thing at the end of '87. The RS 500 came out, was clearly faster than everything else. But from the early days of Group A to probably '87, early '87, the Volvo was, circuit for circuit, was capable of winning races. So, and I think people, they used to make fun of it because Volvo was seen as an old guy's car, an old man's car, but they're not at all.
I was looking to win races, and there's no question. In 1985, we had a package that won the Wellington Street Race, won 2 races in Australia against outright races, and that was against the might of the Australians. And in 1986, of course, we beat them. We beat all the Brocks and the Johnstons and everybody with this old brick. I'm only lukewarm about Volvos, even though I own 5 of them, but I just own a few of these old girls.
It's like an old girlfriend revisited. So I went from '86 to 2017, and now I'm driving it again here. So it's genuinely old technology, so it's got a lot of foibles that we didn't notice at the time, because you don't notice things when you don't know anything about them. That was my first touring car, so, I was pretty oblivious to what was going on with it. It spends half its life on 2 wheels, which can't be good. You got 4 wheels as a contact patch, better off to keep them on the ground. But we have never really been able to do that with it, so, it still does it. It does it all around here, everywhere, 2 wheels, and so it's a hair-raising drive.
It's the most unlikely looking racing car, isn't it? It's rather square, and they call it the Swedish taxi. Not a bad description for it, but my word, it has got some power, and it's perfectly suited to this track in the sense that it gives so much power out of the corners, and this is a circuit where power really counts.
I drove what was called the Swedish Challenge, which was multicolour. Basically, it was Swedish blue with the yellow flag draped across it, and I drove that with Robbie, and we won the New Zealand Endurance Championship in '85/86 over the summer. And that was in the Bench and Hedges series, and we won that series.
The engine's a 2.1 litre, 4-cylinder inline, the same engine that goes into all the Volvos sold all over the world. Added to that is a Garrett T3 turbocharger. And turbocharger is the new way the world is going.
This is the Volvo dealer team. The changeover, as out goes John Bowe and Alfredo Costanzo takes over.
In that era, '86, it was quite a good package for the time. And then Volvo withdrew from motorsport at the end of '86. So that sort of left everybody a bit high and dry. And the cars went back to Sweden, and Mark Petch, who was involved in the Volvo dealer team in those days, he tracked it down and found it and brought it back here and restored it. So it's gone full circle. because it's such an unlikely looking racing car, you know, there's a following for it. It's done itself proud this weekend, I think, anyway. But I think we can, you know, there's some areas we can improve it a bit, just with knowledge that I've accumulated over the last 30 years. You'd want to learn something, wouldn't you?